What's up, geeks and gamers? My name is Drementfh, and welcome to Thorium Gaming, and it's time to bring the light of the Lady of the Lake to the entirety of the old world, because we're back with Nightly Valor. I don't know why I stuttered on that, but we'll go with it, because I'm in a great mood today. So the new Hunter Pack came out, we got a new faction listed in, new legendary lords, a new legendary hero, some reworks to the slan mechanics, and if you pick up this month's issue of White Dwarf magazine, you'll get Gotrek and Felix, the characters from the great novel series, which means I'm probably going to go do that tomorrow, because, well, they're awesome characters and I love them. It's kind of great. So what we've been doing is we've had King Louen marching up through the Empire. Let's keep him going that way. Because Archaeon the Ever-Chosen has finally decided to show up and cause some problems. Those are new tags related to the... So some of the new tags I haven't just seen yet.
The Empire.
Must be when we have one of our guys selected, we can see what's a master and what's a leader of a faction. Which will give us the ability to see who we need to fight if we go after legendary lords. Up north we do still have Lord Aitatdon, who is going to spend the next turn regrouping his troops and then probably going over and assaulting the Norscans. That'll help us out. Down south we have Yogi moving somewhere. I believe he's around here somewhere. We may have sent him back over to the coast of Araby. Kinda lost the legendary lord, or one of our lords anyway. So that's not exactly perfect, but we'll deal with it. And we got Phoenix and Grimaldus on the coast of Araby getting ready to deal with the massive chaos invasion that's coming in. Again, we might have to just abandon the Southlands, because, well, we don't really need to hold on to them. And they're not going to be doing that much for us in all generality. Seriously though, where did Yogi end up? Let's find him. There he is. So we have him headed towards Skaven Blight. Now we could upgrade some of the settlements down here, which we're not going to do, because, well, we may be losing those territories quickly enough. So let's just let the other nations go and see what they end up doing. It was actually a total surprise for me that Gotrek and Felix are coming out as legendary lords or heroes. I don't know exactly what they're sitting at right now, though we did get the rebalances for the slan and all that sort of stuff with the pack, regardless of whether it's purchased or not, so you get the balances to the game. I have yet to purchase it, but again, that's going to be something I do tomorrow, and it doesn't really affect this LP that much, so we'll just have to deal with it. Now it looks like the Empire is taking on the Beasts of Chaos, War Herds, which is incredible for us. If they actually knock out Archaeon the Ever-Chosen, I'm not saying it would be great, but it would be a chance for us to kind of consolidate against it. I'm not too disappointed with how the Empire is kind of fighting all the battles around here. I mean, they're the strongest nation of light right now, so we'll see. And that they're sending their Supreme Patriarch back down across the ocean to help deal with the forces of chaos is a good thing. No insult to Phoenix and Grimaldus, of course. They have good troops, but those are a lot of chaos armies. And if we can thin their ranks a little bit with our allies, that will help us out immensely. So on a completely unrelated note, even though it counts as gaming, although in the more physical sense, had my first game of the year for hockey last night, and to all the guys who I play hockey with that may or may not be watching this, fun skate guys, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. It's always an awesome time on Sunday nights. So, just try not to embarrass me so much, because I'm not in as good a shape as you guys are. That's for 100% sure. Kind of wondering where this Empire army up here is going to go. I mean, there's lots of chaos stacks around, and I'm hoping that the elves will deal with it slightly, but they also have been kind of wishy-washy when it comes to defending Ulthuan, which is a little weird. We do have those Norscans that are landed in the Badlands. Not too worried about them just yet, because they're pulling away from where our troops are. There's also some unit rebalances and everything with this new patch, so we'll probably see those pop up at some point or another. I'm wondering if the dwarves are going to go full-on aggressive against the wood elves. It's a very real possibility that they could. And Thorgrim himself is coming down. I was expecting a bit more in the way of high-end troops for his army, but apparently that's going to all of his subordinates. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, Thorgrim Grudgebearer is a beast of a character. So we'll see how he sorts things out. The Warriors of Chaos themselves, there's Sithoriel, the Everwatcher. Now is Archaeon going to shift and attack that Empire army? He is. That'll give 2 Empire armies. I wonder if Chaos is going to actually push this. Because this will weaken them regardless. That severely weakened Archaeon and Sithoriel. That devastated their stacks, so those 2 Empire armies were sacrificed in the name of beating down the Chaos forces. If we can get them to separate and take them one at a time, that would be perfect. That was a big hit to their numbers, and Kislev is right up there. Can hope, not necessarily be guaranteed, but hope that Kislev can hold Prague while King Louen makes his way up there. Though King Louen is a fair ways away, so we'll see. And it looks like the war between the dwarves and the elves is going to kick off. Are they going to use all of their army stacks? That's the real question. Dwarves wisely retreated. That's a lot of elves. It does kind of leave them exposed. I don't know if they're going to be able to get all of their armies back towards King's Glade. Or if they're even going to try to get all their armies back towards King's Glaive. Because I'm guessing that that Wood Elf army is going to get hit by the dwarves on the next turn. Kind of carrying on the War of the Beard. Even though the Wood Elves were not the ones that did that. That was all Malekith's people. Yeah. Not exactly a perfect way to look at things. It does kind of pain me to see all of our allies being so much stronger than us right now. I mean, when we did the Light of the Azure series, we were definitely the big kid in the park. Now, not so much. But I blame that mostly on us losing our vows, so we can't expand. We have to watch our treasury. That said, we're just going to fight through it. Call it a handicap. And if we can win with the handicap, then we are doing well. I'm just going to rely on the Lady of the Lake and keep faith with her. And rely on our generals and our heroes to be above average when it comes to the fights that they get into. When we get down to the puppets and servants of chaos, Nagaron and the Cult of Pleasure just confederated. That makes them both a whole lot more dangerous. That means Marathi, Malekith are both on the same side now, and that's a devastating combo. We are seeing a little bit of action from Clan Moors. We do know that the Tomb Kings of Khemri are kinda beating them down and cleansing out their little rat holes. So we know Queek Headtaker's in Mount Erekronos. Hopefully I said that even remotely correctly. And the Tomb Kings are having a lot of really big units. I'm absolutely terrible at playing Tomb Kings, so I'm just gonna go with whatever they do. Are we getting Tomb King supports on the coast? Because I would not mind that at all. Or are they just trying to mess with the sorcerers? Followers of Nagash. It's amazing how intricately interlinked a lot of the factions within the game are. You can look at one, but it's all tied together. Nagash, the great necromancer, caused the vampirism strain with the Queen of Lamia, which in turn caused all of the vampire splits up in the Empire.
Welcome to Bretonia, stranger. I am its king.
No, we're not giving you military access. We do not allow the undead free passage in our lands. And our dwarven friends who had been running up and down the coast seem like they're going to come back and run up and down the coast. Kind of curious where Logazor is going to go. Not entirely sure what we're going to do for the next Let's Play after Knightly Valor is done, because we're getting pretty close to the end of this one. Archaeon has showed up, and once we defeat him and get the necessary chivalry, we'll be on. So I'm not sure if we're going to do another Total War Let's Play, maybe do the Lizardmen, or play a Force of Disorder. Be interesting to work some of the 232's names into bad guys for a change. Maybe we'll do a Chaos playthrough. Never know. And we won't have to worry about these ships on the coast with their incredibly large amount of forces. I'm hoping that they can break up a little bit and separate so that we can deal with them individually. But it looks like they're staying pretty tight to one another. So we'll have to see where things are going to go with them. Though we do have the Empire helping us out, and the Tomb Kings might get involved. They are at war with the Tomb Kings of Khemri, so it is possible. The real challenge is going to be to get just one of those ships by itself. One of the stacks. And there's even more of them showing up. So how perfect is that? And it looks like Chaos is actually going to hit the elves. Alicia might go down next turn. Still ironic that's a Chaos Worshipper is named Mercy. And the Bjornlings, we'll see where they head off to. They are technically Norscans, so they could, in theory, grab one of the settlements down there and start building up a force. Alright, so King Louen, first thing we're going to do is move you as far to the north as we can. We need to get you up at least past Middenheim, somewhere up in this region to help fight off the forces of Chaos. Now, Aitatdon, your troops are pretty hurt, but you won't recover that much this turn.
Taking my leave.
If we move you up here towards Bjornling's Gathering, what's the garrison on it? Okay, so from here, we'll get you to encamp on your next turn.
It's our legend.
Furix, we're going to get you to go after Sir
Destroy
Theriel's
the
units.
faceless.
Nice to see a Tzeentchian demon for a change, instead of just Bloodthirsters and Great
Paladin
Unclean
of
ones.
Bretonnia.
What vow are you on now? You are still in the level up vow, so... Scarred Veteran. One more turn like that and he'll have his vow back.
Our lady demands it.
Thibault de Bois.
Noble son of Bretonnia.
We'll have you do that. Again, we're not going to be upgrading our settlements too much, because we don't know where things are going to go.
I think not. Cease.
That is a lot of heavy hitters. 2 Chaos Giants, 2 Hell Cannons. Can't see what's in Fraltras's army yet, but Festergax has a lot of Chosen, a lot of Chaos Warriors. That is a very hefty stack. And we are starting to make a little bit more coin per turn. So this is Phoenix. Give him a couple of Sword Squires.
My strength and wisdom are
And
yours.
Grimaldus, I think we'll do the same with you. Those will help against the Chaos Knights and their warriors. Give you both a Trebuchet too. Should equal everything out. Okay, so that's going to take care of most of our funds for the near future, but that'll help us out in the long run.
Blessings of the lady be upon you.
And Yogi, we're going to put you
I
into
go
Skaven
down.
Blight,
Protector of the realm.
momentarily
You know
anyway.
who I am. My
Probably pop you out
reputation
and get you
precedes
into a camp stance. We're really interested to see what the Dwarves and the Wood Elves are going to do. So there's not much we can do, so we'll just pass it back to the other nations. I know it's kind of sit back and watch for a little bit, but we don't really have much of a choice right now. If we're going to start winning battles and get on to the final chivalric event, we're going to need to deal with a little bit of patience. If that sounded right. Either way, the Empire is really going to go out of its way to do some stuff. I'm hoping that they're going to go up north too and help defeat Chaos. I mean, they did just sacrifice 2 complete army stacks, very good army stacks, to wither down Archaeons' forces and deal with Sarthariel. Although Sarthariel's reinforcements really tipped the balance in that fight. But it didn't even really fully hurt the Empire's military might. Armic might? Wow. I swear sometimes I just make up words. Because, well, it's fun. Now, Volkmar the Grim is actually in a place where he could start causing some real pain to Chaos and Norsca. We'll see what he does. He definitely has the artillery, the war machines to deal with Archaeon's forces. Hopefully he'll go in and actually fight it out with them. If Archaeon gets knocked down, that puts him in the reserved state, the wounded state, so that we can actually do our final battle without having to worry too much. Now, where is the Empire army on Ulthuan going? Not too worried about their heroes. I mean, they've been running around the entire time and not really done a whole lot. But since we've done 2 good guy episodes, we might want to do a bad guy series. I don't know. My brain is kind of rocking back and forth on certain topics right now. And I kind of want to see these ideas through to fruition. So, we've done a lot of good guys. Maybe we'll do the Dark Elves. They're pretty similar to the High Elves in how they play. I think the Dwarves are going to push the advantage on this one. since the Wood Elf army cannot run. That definitely hurts the Wood Elves. It also leaves us an opportunity. If the Dwarves manage to completely destroy the Wood Elf forces, we could go to war with them and actually strike hard and claim another tree city. Perhaps the Oak of Ages itself. We'll have to watch for that, though. Not too sure, though. But back to the topic of the bad guys. You have a lot of undead, but they don't have female characters mostly. The vampire counts do. So that could be an option. Could do the Dark Elves, which are split again. So that would allow everybody to be included. Chaos, well, not really any female avatars in there, though we could twitch that a little bit if we had to. Looks like the dwarves are really trying to put pressure on the Wood Elves. Sarthoriel's going to probably take on Volksgrad. Archaeon will back him up. We'll see if Sarthoriel pushes forward. I'm hoping that Kislevite army hits Sarthoriel. Now it's time for the Wood Elf response. That's a Dwarven army down. It didn't really hurt Orion's army all that much. So the Wood Elves themselves are not in a good position. High Elves do have a lot of expeditions here, attacking Hotek's column. There's Teclis, the guy who loves to screw up when defending Ulthuan. And Alariel the Radiant just made a major strike against the forces of Chaos. Though she is the Everqueen, so that's completely understandable. Be interesting to see an entirely cavalry-based army out of the High Elves. Illyrian Reavers for ranged, lots of Silver Helms, Dragon Princes, maybe a monster or two to kind of back it up, but no infantry. Definitely be an interesting concept. I don't know how well it would work, but it could work. It'd be terrible as a siege army, though. Do an Illyrian-themed army. There's a couple of chariots from Tiranoc in there, too. Lots of different themes that you could do. I'll have to investigate the Slan mage rebalances for the Lizardmen, though. They were always kind of weak. Like, anytime I played the Lizardmen themselves, I always ended up just using the Scar Veterans and the crud. I cannot remember their name right now. Scar Veterans is their hero, and is it Old Bloods that are their Lord choice? I think it's Old Bloods. Can't be positive on that. It's been a while. That's a red-crested skink. We haven't actually seen any Negorothi armies move in a while. We've seen this assassin bomb around a bit, but we haven't seen Dark Elven armies. So whatever they're doing might be important. Or they just don't have the resources. And that's Queekhead Taker himself, the legendary lord for Clan Moors. I wonder, is he going to try and bail out his own city? And in fact, he's going to bail out his own city. And lose a fair number of ratmen in the process, but there's always more where those came from. I don't know if Clan Rictus is too long for this world. I mean, the Monoliths and Slaver's Point, I'm pretty sure are under their control. But you can never tell for sure. And Tomb Kings, well, they're just being Tomb Kingy. Again, making up words, because it's fun. Now, Khemri, it'd be really, really, really nice if you just, like, isolate your war with the followers of Nagash and help us against the Great Annihilator. But you're not going to do that, are you? You're probably going to be a pain in our butts the entire time. Of course, the Cult of Liberus taking pot shots at our last Defender allies. That was Archaon the Black himself. And is there actually a place you're gonna go now, Mr. Coral Seeker? You're actually pulling away from the coastline for a change. Though you're in the forest, so all of your Dawi must be a little uncomfortable. Don't like being in the woods. Alright, Pavel of the Ice. Are you going to actually be able to knock out Thorium? Indeed you are. So that is a massive, massive hit to the Forces of Chaos. It's got a Witch Hunter there too, so that's a benefit. And this is why I wanted to keep Kislev strong. The stronger they are, the less we have to worry about the Forces of Chaos itself. Now the stuff that we really need to watch. Puppets of Chaos. We're going to be moving. Those ones are coming up towards Kofar. I don't know if those guys are in range of reinforcing each other. Those ones definitely are. Maybe the Empire army will be foolish and attack one of them. Weird seeing their reinforcements coming from the oceans and not really doing a whole heck of a lot. Now, the Servants of Chaos themselves got a massive hit to the when Alariel took them on. But they're definitely going to cause problems for Ulthuan. Alright, so Archaeons has a Wa. And there's even more Chaos Hordes pouring in. That's just bloody brilliant.
Lady's chosen. I take my
Alright,
leave.
King Louen, we're going to move you up towards her gig. And Lady Di has got another level, so we'll see what we can do with her. So we'll get the last line of Common Cassandora.
My strength and wisdom are yours.
And Aitatdon, I think we're actually just going to follow through with the attack. They have some Ice Trolls, Warhounds, Feral Mammoth, Horsemen. There's not too much in there that scares me per se, but if we can get you attacking them and causing them to suffer attrition,
Honor and glory.
because we can fight that battle straight up, but if we can get some turns of attrition in, so 6 turns to start that off, would be great. Assault Archaeons units, though I doubt Archaeon is going to last another turn with Kislev going after him. And Thibaut de Bois, have you attack units there. You failed, but you did level up.
Defender of the weak.
So we'll get you another rank in Scarred Veteran. How are your vows looking? Right, you have to win a battle at sea. Kofra, I don't really want to level up.
Protector of the realm.
So all of them are within reinforcement range of one another. I think we're just going to hold. I don't know if they're going to be able to assault once they hit land, but we're going to ignore that for now. There's not really much else we can do. It's kind of a sit and wait situation. Let's bring
Blessings of the lady be upon you.
Lord Yogi back down towards Magritta, just in case we need to pull him back over to add some peasant assault to our forces. It's going to be mostly maintenance for this part right now, guys. It's kind of a dull section, but we have to be careful with what we're doing, so we'll see. And it's a lot of talking over what the Empire and the other nations are doing. And there's a Forces of Chaos fleet down. With any luck, the Empire or down here in the south will assault those Chaos units and thin them out for us. We'll see how it goes. I mean, they're bringing a significant amount of army stacks down. Not too sure what they're going to do up in the north because, well, Archaeon's forces are already devastated. He'll be put into a wounded state probably on this turn, because Kislev, being strong and in position, is probably going to knock Archaeon out, which makes our lives a little bit easier. It's one of our victory conditions is to make sure he's wounded. But with the Doom Tide coming, there's a lot more Forces of Chaos out there, so we'll have to see. We got Volkmar the Grim headed up north again. And the dwarves confederated with Carrick Ziflin. So that helps us out a slight bit. Changed a little bit of red to, or, you know, burgundy to blue, I guess. Okay, you won against the Oak of Ages, but you didn't raise it or didn't capture it. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Now, is Thorgrim going to go up and join the war against the elves, or is he going to keep pushing to the west? Either way is actually really good for us, so there's that. Grombendal the White Dwarf, now pushing west as well. Belgar Iron Hammer. Let's see where we're gonna go, because okay, the Warriors of Chaos are moving. They still look a lot stronger, comparatively speaking, to the one army stack we know of. So wiping out Archaeon and his forces may not be the end of it. And Malagor is doing his thing. Hasn't been too many border skirmishes lately for us. Oh, it's a tough call, but we're gonna have to fight this. We're a little bit outmatched, but we'll have to fight it. This might be a little bit longer this week, guys, just because we're gonna get into this. And of course, my chair is still squeaking. I don't see anything in there that's too terribly outmatching for us.
Battle pilgrims!
So if we set everything up as if we know what we're doing, which we should do.
Knights of the Ring!
Awaiting orders.
Ready!
So let's put our infantry line up front as per usual. Kind of our standard operating procedure at this point. And slot our archers in behind with Aitatdon right in the center.
The Grail Reliquary!
Put our Reliquary over there.
Knights of Petunia!
Put our Knights of the Realm off to this side, hopefully. Actually, we have a fairly bad habit of getting our Mammoths on this side, so we'll send them over there. And our Knights Errant can come down here and use the woods as kind of a blocking measure. Start. Where is that Mammoth? Dead center of its line.
What do you be?
So let's advance those Knights a little bit. Advance these Knights a little bit. See what happens once they get in range of our archers.
Protector of the Realm!
Aitatdon's gonna have to do some work on this one, I think.
Knights of the Ring!
Let's charge our Knights in over there. See what we can do about getting our Knights over here. Alright, let's just pause real quick. Get those Knights involved. Make sure everybody's fighting something that they should be. Let's pull our Knights of the Realm out because they're going to get overwhelmed with that much infantry. We want to keep as many charges going as we can.
At speed!
To victory!
That Mammoth is causing a whole lot of hurt. Warhounds are broken.
Ride them down!
Our center has kind of collapsed a little bit.
Knights of the Ring! Hastily!
Let's move our Knights of the Realm back a little bit. See if we can get them to charge that chariot.
Withdraw!
One unit of halberdiers and swordsmen are pulling out.
We are ready!
As I mentioned, it's going to take a lot of Aitatdon's skill in this fight to deal with everything. Once that mammoth is dealt with, everything else should be fine. Grail Relique is gone.
Battle ready! As you say! God help us! Knights errant!
Our Knights Errant are suffering a fair bit here.
Withdraw! Smite them!
Those Knights of the Realm are going to get caught here pretty quick. Let's see if we can pull them out and get another charge off.
Immediately! Cut them down! Withdraw!
Definitely not having a good time on this one.
At once! Attack! Shields! Aye! Righteous!
See if we can turn this around a little bit.
For the lady! Knights errant! God help us! Cut them down! Withdraw! Kill the lady!
Aitatdon's starting to get really hurt. It's that feral mammoth that's causing all the problems.
Knights of the Realm!
See if we can get our Knights of the Realm in there to deal with the
Withdraw!
Fimir warriors and that feral mammoth.
Shields! Aye! Withdraw!
I got a feeling we're going to lose this battle.
Pull back! We are ready! Sons of Bretonia!
Which is actually okay. Hurts the city, but it'll give us a chance to regroup.
Pull, men!
Our troops are starting to rout completely.
God help us!
A valiant defeat. Not exactly what we wanted for Aitatdon. But it looks like he came out alive, so that'll give him a chance to pull back and regroup. Possibly with some better troops. And he gained a negative trait, so he's got to be aggressive and attack only. And he lost his potion of healing and lost warrior. That was really bad for Aitatdon, all things considered. Now it's the elves' turn to try something. Hopefully they'll finish off the rest of these chaos forces over here and be able to help us out in other places. They did recover Tor Anlek and managed to hang on to a lot of it, so see how they're able to hold off. The next turn is going to be definitely interesting. There's a Dark Elf army, something we haven't seen in a long while. High Elves seem pretty focused on Clan Rictus, though. I'm almost positive that's what they're fighting against. Or at least their target right now. Last defenders get to go. See what they end up doing. It's... I don't know, their war with the Cult of Liberus has been back and forth. Hasn't been superb, though. see where those Nagarothi elves go. Oh, that's Hellebrand herself. Actually, I haven't done a playthrough as Harganeth. Is it Harganeth? Well, Hellebrand's faction. They can do a lot of stuff with witch elves and sacrificing slaves to create death knights, and it's apparently a lot of fun, but it's also really difficult in the early game to keep your public order in line. But that's actually an advantage when you're playing Dark Elves, because it allows you to level up your heroes pretty quickly and efficiently. Alright, now please follow through and attack that Chaos Army. I was hoping you'd attack and win against that Chaos Army, but okay then. Kinda sucks. But it is what it is. They'll just recover his corpse eventually, and he'll be back. He'll full-on Terminator that thing. Actually, Khemri's been taking a fair few hits over the last little bit. Court Liberus, not so much.
You come to Bretonia, stranger.
No, we're not going with a non-aggression pact for the Exiles in the Heck. Or the followers in Nagash. Just can't trust them. And there's Archaeon wounded. Kislev's doing its best to hold back the forces of Clan Mulder too, so helping them out was a good idea early in the game. Oh no, Archaeon the Ever-Chosen actually won that fight apparently. That's different. So King Louen might get a chance to fight him after all.
You ask for a boon. Speak, and I will see if it is within.
You are at war with the Rakaf dynasty. But no one else that's of import to us. So yeah, we'll take a military alliance with them for now. We can break that later on if we have to. Now the Puppets of Chaos that we have to see what they're gonna do. So they decided to go after the Empire. Which barely scratched them. Well, that's not good for us, even with the Empire helping out. That's 6 full army stacks for the Forces of Chaos down here. There's another Mercy. This one's called Festerheart as well, though, so we'll have to deal with that. Okay, so that gives us an advantage. I don't think either one of them came ashore. Well, we might be able to fight those armies if we are lucky. But anyway, guys, on that note, it's probably a good place to call it for this week. If you liked the video, please consider hitting that like button. If you'd like to join up with the 232, see yourself pop up in this or other Let's Plays, just hit that subscribe button, and make sure you turn your notifications on so you don't miss when a new video goes out. And remember, guys, life is a game, so play to win. And until next time, take care.